Hey guys, Varun here. Hope all of you are safe. So in this video I'm going to give you the camera review of the new OnePlus 8 Pro. Now before we begin with the review, I would like to talk about the hump in the room, that is actually the camera hump which is there. So as you can see, it is pretty pronounced, and you know that the camera hump is big when even the official cover which is provided also needs a hump to actually cover it up completely. So yeah, it's a pretty big hump, and that is partially because this phone is thinner than the previous phone, that is the 7T Pro, and that might be the reason of this pronounced hump. So we'll talk about it. So let's begin with the hardware specs of this camera. So firstly, on the front over here, the selfie camera is 16 megapixel f2.5 aperture camera. It is a wide angle, but I don't think it is that much wider, so I'll explain it later on when I'll show you the videos and the photos. It is also auto HDR enabled, and it can record in 1080p at 30 frames per second. Now talking about the back, this is where the main action is happening. So firstly, we have the 48 megapixel f1.8 main camera. We have the 48 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide camera. This is the largest megapixel count ultra wide camera ever. We also have a 5 megapixel color filter lens over there, which is currently disabled in India. It is also for depth sensing. And we have an 8 megapixel f2.4 telephoto camera. So this is basically all the hardware, and the camera is capable of recording in 4K at 60 frames per second, and it is also capable of HDR. And along with all that, we have dual LED flash over here, and we also have panorama effect and all the other modes which are there. So I'll explain it to you in the camera application. So let's just get into the camera application first of all. So yeah, here we are. So as you can see, this is a pretty simple camera application. We have all the modes on the bottom over here. This is now right now by default detecting it in super micro mode, if you can see, because this is the option which is enabled. This is for super micro mode, as you know, and this time 48 megapixel ultra wide camera acts as a super micro lens. There is no separate lens for it, so we will definitely test that out. From here you can switch it on or off. So right now, since it's on, I'll just turn it off so that all the other options are visible. So starting from the top over here, we have the timer, we have the flash toggle, we have the option to change the resolution of the camera directly to 48 megapixel from here. By default it is at 12 megapixel, where it does pixel winning by combining 4 pixels into one for getting in more light. So I'll test that out and I'll show you the videos. Again, this is a super micro mode, and these are the various filters which are available. So in the end here, there was that color filter mode, that X-ray mode which was there, which is disabled in India, and even after update it is not there right now. I'll let you know when that happens. So let's go back over here, and on the bottom over here we have this Google Lens option over here, and this is the ultra wide toggle. This is the main lens over here. We can also change it in this way. So this is the main lens, and this is the telephoto lens. We can also go up to 30x, but that is the hybrid zoom. When we swipe to the left over here, we have the video mode. Again, in this video also we can use all those 3 lenses, which is really good. There is slow motion mode, in which we can record in up to 120 frames per second. I'll also show some sample about this if I can. There's a panoramic mode over here, and there is also a time-lapse mode. Going on the right of this, over here we have this portrait mode, where you can take that beautiful depth sensing photos like a DSLR. There's an option for Nightscape, where it takes around photos from 8 seconds to 30 seconds shutter speed actually, and for this you need a tripod in order to get this. This basically works when you need to get those beautiful Milky Way photos or star filled sky photos at night, but tripod is a must. And again, here we have this pro mode over it. It is pretty much everything you will need in order to take a pro photograph. So over here on the top, we can see we can change this. We can have a basic JPEG image, it will be of 12 megapixel. We can also get a JPEG image in 48 megapixel in pro mode, and then there is an option for raw. On the bottom we can change the ISO, white balance, the exposure, even the focus over here, and the shutter speed which is there again. So it's a really simplified pro version application over here, and I think it's really clean and simple and not very difficult to understand. So now that we have seen this, we'll jump straight into the photo qualities over here. Now I would like you to know that I have been using Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus for the last year. So I'll also put some comparison shot just for you to understand where I'm coming from when I'm analyzing the photos. So you get to see indirectly the comparison also between the two. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is a comparison HDR shot between the two phones, and as you can see on the right side, Note 10 Plus manages to take more details in the shot, and as you can see, OnePlus 8 Pro's image is a little underexposed. The darker area is a little underexposed, but overall, if you see the sharpness of the photos and the contrast is to the point. Note 10 Plus naturally has a more saturated shot as compared to OnePlus 8 Pro. Now in this natural mode, this shot is true to life, so this is how it was looking. But I have also attached the photo with the vivid mode which is there in OnePlus, and I think many people would like that. So as you can see in the vivid mode photo over here, this photo looks more better as compared to the natural one, but here again the darker areas are underexposed. Now that is one problem which is there in these camera photos all the way, and few shots I'll be showing this comparison shots over here, otherwise we'll be seeing all the individual images. So let's move ahead. So this photo again was shot in the vivid mode, and as you can see, overall the photo is looking really great. The dynamic range is amazing and the saturation is on point in this, and we can see when this good lighting conditions, the phone does produce really amazing photograph, and there is a lot of things going on in this photo, and yet the camera has not failed us. Now this is a normal photo, and again here you can see that under proper lighting conditions the phone is able to get amazingly crisp shot. And this is really good. This is the primary lens shot which is there. It's a 12 megapixel shot, and now we'll be moving to a shot which will be taken in ultra wide lens. So this is the ultra wide shot, and as you can see, this is the most crispiest ultra wide shot I've ever seen due to the 48 megapixel ultra wide lens. And you can see because of the ultra wide correction which is happening, also the photo looks really good, and I think it is pretty wide and everything in this photo looks very detailed. And this here is the telephoto shot which is taken from the 3x zoom, and as you can see the details in the shot are amazing, but I think it is a little washed out as compared to the other two photos, but overall the photo looks really good. And I think if you are able to take natural photos like this, the phone is really capable of giving you perfect shots. So moving ahead to different scenario. Here again, as you can see, the photo does appear really good, but again the problem which I told you, that the darker areas are underexposed, it is pretty prominent over here. But overall, if you look at the saturation level and the sharpness of the photos, it is really good. All in all, if I say that in good and bright lighting conditions, the phone does give you amazing shots. This is easily in the top 5 best camera phones right now, and you can toggle the modes, various modes which are there inside in order to get more photos. So this is the checking out the zoom capability. So at 3x zoom we have no loss, but this is the 10x photograph where you can see little distortion, and 30 times zoom is pretty much unusable over here, but I think up to the 10x zoom it is good. In this, the left shot which is there is a 12 megapixel shot, and the right shot is taken at 48 megapixel. So as you can see, the 48 megapixel shot definitely has some more details into it, and it is a little bit brighter than the 12 megapixel shot, and when you will be zooming in this 48 megapixel, I think you will be restoring many details as compared to the 12 megapixel shot. So this will be helpful in certain scenarios and not in all, and we'll continue to the next scenario over here. So as you can see from all these shots, you can definitely make it out that OnePlus has hit it out of the park this time around with its cameras, and the software which is also doing a really great job in order to handle the hardware capabilities of the camera. And as you can see, each and every photo looks really crisp and fantastic. The sharpness is up to the mark, the contrast is good. The only thing is, when you are in that telephoto lens, the photo is a little bit warmer as compared to the other two lenses, but overall when you take a look at the image, at the very first time you'll be getting the image right, and this happens 9 out of 10 times in this case. And I think the strongest suit, I would not say that camera is still the strongest suit of OnePlus, but definitely this is the best OnePlus camera in years of all the OnePlus devices. And with a few software updates, I would say that the problem of the underexposure which is there in the darker areas can be very easily solved. But otherwise, if you see the overall image quality which is coming out of this device is really good, and definitely the 48 megapixel lens is able to capture amazing details no matter the scenario, no matter the environment. So I am really impressed with it. And we also have a few tricks over there, so let's just take a look at that. So the depth sensing camera also does an amazing job. As you can see in this portrait mode, the edge detection is flawless, and you will be able to get amazing DSLR kind of shots with this. We also have this super macro mode, and I think this is a fantastic feature because look at this is a leaf, and I have never seen a leaf with such amazing details because the phone is able to get so close to the leaf. And I think this feature will provide some beautiful shots in the future, and stay tuned for more shots. I think you will love it, and this is also executed really well. But as the light starts to drop, that's when you see the weaknesses of the camera, but I think it is still able to capture amazing photos. I would say it's a little bit less sharp as compared to the photos in bright daylight, but this is the problem with all the cameras. And but still it is able to capture really good photos, I would say, and they're really usable, so that's not an issue. I would not say that you will be disappointed with the low light capabilities of this camera, but certainly the low light capability of this camera is its weakest point. And I think with some software updates we can definitely improve the post processing which is there in the night captured photos. So let's move ahead. The 16 megapixel selfie shooter also clicks amazing photos. As you can see over here, the sharpness and the clarity of the photo is really good, and as you can see there is no distortion in the picture over there, and this is not that wide, I would say, but still it is able to click really good photos. So all you selfie lovers won't be disappointed at all. As long as the lighting is good, you are going to get a perfectly good photos. So even the selfie camera is really good, and it is able to record in 1080p at 30 frames per second. We are really disappointed that we can't record in 4K because other phones are providing, but it is what it is. So guys, this was my in-depth camera review of the OnePlus 8 Pro. Hope you have liked it. Now for some reason I was not able to import the videos that I have recorded on this phone in the Adobe Premiere Pro, so I don't know what issue there is. That's why I could not include it in this video, but I'll try to make another video about it when I'll figure out what's the issue apparently. So this video will only contain the photo taking capabilities of the OnePlus 8 Pro, and I believe that this time around this phone has really outdone itself. OnePlus has outdone itself, and this is a really good flagship performing camera phone which is available. And I think that if you are considering buying this phone for camera, I would say that yeah, you can go for it. It is definitely amongst the top 5 phones right now, and only one or two of them are cheaper than this phone. So if you consider the overall package that OnePlus is providing, I would say that even the camera is really good this time around, and this is not a compromise on their part at all. So definitely go for it, and I hope you like this video guys. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.